Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sir, and today I'm going to be doing something slightly different than my usual content. I'm going to be doing a little bit of complaining, which is not unusual for me, as anyone who knows me will know. I am not one who holds back when I complain. So it may not be unusual. So. But I'm going to be talking about the various things I've been noticing surrounding online game communities, particularly official communities like an official Discord for a game or forums or even social media. It's not really a community, but the social media and the community management that gets involved in all of that. One of the things that I've noticed is that the Discord servers that are set up for these gaming communities are just bad. They're straight up bad, and it really sucks because people don't seem to realize how much value there is in a well-oiled community, right? And not every Discord community is going to be the same, but a lot of them are just they don't have like a lot of the basics. And the unfortunate thing is that this is very much an indicator of how that game is going to do for other community management aspects, right? It's not just Discord that we're going to be looking at. It's everything as a whole. And it all just kind of ties together into one big picture. So I'm gonna start off by showing who I am, of course, where I'm coming from. I am a administrator of the Foxhole Game Discord at this time, and I've been doing that since about April when I took over, I believe. So I'm not a community manager. I'm just a volunteer who thinks he knows better about these things. Ergo, this video. And the actual community manager is Crazy Flying Chicken. So I kind of just support him on things that he doesn't quite grasp with Discord, and really do my best to help, the Discord community as a whole thrive in a way that maybe take some of the pressure off the developers and off KFC here, as a whole, right? I want to do my best to help them out because I love this game and I love a community. And most games, especially indie games, are their community, right? And that's a very, very, very important thing to understand. Indie developers, AA titles, and especially anything that's not, coming from a major publisher or developer, like EA or Treyarch or, anything. It's very important to note that all of these, games are their community. If their community thrives, the game is most likely going to thrive, and so on. So it's very much important to do your best to maintain a well-rounded, thriving community and to offer it, the tools it needs to run itself. A lot of communities do end up running itself. I started out as just a person in the community, and I help run the community. So it even goes as far as that. For Discord, at least. It goes as far as people wanting to step up. If they see a game and a community they want to thrive, people do step up. So it's really important that indie developers especially, you have to take the time and effort to make your community, I'm not going to say make your community great again, because you have to do it when you start, right? There's a little bit of trial and error, of course, especially with the nature of the beast of Discord being relatively new. But you really have to set some very important groundwork in order for these things to thrive, and to not, have it fail and slip from under your feet. And that's actually what's going on right now, in a number of communities, and I've watched this happen a number of times recently, where communities are just plain old mismanaged, or even worse, not managed at all. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at this other game. So this is a game called Atlas, right? And this was put on my radar a few days back, and this isn't the first example that I've seen of this issue. But this game is supposed to be like a I don't know, a Black Wake meets Sea of Thieves meets World Adrift meets Life is Feudal MMO. I guess, if I had to like give you a long story short, it looks really cool. Like, honestly, it looked kind of fun. It looks kind of cartoony and bad, but and the style of it's a bit weird. But to do what they were planning on doing, I could see why. This is their website, playatlas.com. Okay, that's it. This is it, and this is what kind of startled me, is that this is it. This is all I got. Like, if we just look at their source, it's got none. It's got like simple, unnecessary CSS. You don't even need CSS to make this website. You could have just not even had that and just put your CSS in your HTML, which is not best practice, by the way. But this was just super unnecessary, I guess. Well, that's just me. So this website, I started to look for anything I could on this game when it got put on my radar by a couple people in my clan in Reborn. And I'm like, okay, this looks cool. And I was immediately disappointed by everything I saw. Okay, this is their website. It has a link to their Steam page, which is good. And this had a countdown saying the game, will release in so many hours, so many minutes. And I think this legitimately was put on my radar like 6 hours before it was set to release. But it's not released, and we'll get to that in a little bit. If we go to where start looking at this is their Discord server, right? And this is not a small server. It's got 42, just shy of 43,000 people in their server. It's it's got a lot of people online. So many issues stood out to me when I was looking through the server, right? So many different things, and I was just seriously disappointed. I'm actually disappointed even more right now, okay? So a number of things I'm looking at, like, so many things are popping out to me even right now. I'll start off with this page, right? So you don't need a fancy, welcome page. I call it Welcome Rules, or at least that's what this name was. I actually don't like that name. I think it should be like Read First or Information or what have you. But see, in our case, we've got a logo. You got some branding, right, to recognize the branding of the game in a clean manner. Description of the game, welcome message, all of the. Oh, I need to fix that. Check that out. I guess we're gonna do that live. Reddit. Did I lose the Reddit logo? Did I really? Okay, that happened within the past, like, I don't know, day, because I've been editing this recently, so I'll fix that later. We got 56,000 people almost. That's cool. We got our rules. You got an explanation, long story short, of our rules, and actually this I want to redo personally. And then we have some user friendly ability of adding roles to their person, right? Without having to do commands. Although you can do commands there as well. But this is it. But it has like everything that you need in it to represent the brand that you're trying to represent. Of course, I don't represent Fox or the developers Clapfoot. But it's important to keep things, on brand for the most part. And I'm not a marketing guy. I'm not a marketing major. I'm not a communications major. I'm not a major of anything of this nature. I didn't go to school for this. This is just stuff I've picked up in the past doing, business, sales, social media management, community management, all that fun stuff. I've just picked it up. So I'm not an expert. That's what I'm saying. What they've got here, and you know what? They actually, yeah, okay. I'll have to pull up some of the footage I recorded earlier of what this looked like. So currently this server is in meltdown mode, right? And I'll get to that in a minute. Their welcome page, explains, the probably copy pasted, just the same copy that they pulled from their Steam page, right? Which again is absent here, hilariously enough. That their own Steam page to their game is missing from this already. They're using a bot to post this, which makes it look kind of nice, but it's extremely unnecessary. As I demonstrated here, it's actually very easy to make something that looks very clean. And you can actually do a lot more with branding if you know what you're doing. You don't have to do a bot. You don't have to do an embed like this. It's completely unnecessary. And it's actually limiting, right? Because if you go in to edit this, you have to actually edit it bot side to replace this, instead of just like right-clicking and hitting edit. So there's that. They are a verified server. They have the good old vanity URL. So that's cool, but it doesn't really give you much details. It points you to other channels to get the details, which is so unnecessary. It creates what I call channel gore, right? Let's go take a look at their Discord rules. My God. I'm sorry. I'm going to typically, when I'm complaining about this stuff, I might get a little frustrated at some of these things, but my God, they spell out the rules to an extent that is completely unnecessary, right? To the point where they have freaking subsections in their rules. Like whoever wrote this was obviously trying to cover their ass in so many different ways that really you just create something that no one will ever read. All of this can be summed up in my favorite term: don't be a bag of dicks, right? Okay, this is so unnecessary. Treat all members with respect, cool. Harassment, hate speech, okay, that's also respect. Don't offend anyone, respect. Offensive slurs, okay, that's offending. Like, there's you catch my drift. Like, all of this is so it's just unnecessary, right? I'm going to use my own as a example, and I've actually recently redid this. I got rid of the numbering system, right? Because I hate referring to a number. I hate giving people the excuse of asking for a number. What rule did I violate? Which they open up quite a bit here. Be respectful, be responsible, and honestly, half of these can be summed up in that. But it's pretty simple. It's just that. I don't need an entire freaking channel for that. And of course, don't spam all developers, blah, blah, blah. And our mod mail bot's online. So I'm going to point that out. And this is what's funny. I believe they're actually copying us, and I wish I could prove that somehow. I think I did find proof about that. But come on. This is so unnecessary. It's absolutely unnecessary. And again, they're using a bot to manage this, to make it look somewhat clean. But in all actuality, they're just making something that no one will ever read, right? And this really, from a moderation standpoint, this really handicaps your moderators to the point where you're always going to have people who are asking, well, what rule did I violate, right? Well, if you're getting to a point where you're asking what rule you violated You know, like legitimately, people will ask you, you know, I demand you to point out what rule I violated. You're knocking down my freedom of speech. We're in the Library of Congress. Can you show me that I violated a rule? And this is just so dumb that they did this because, you know, no advertising. You could have summed up advertising rules and no advertising. They don't even have. Look at this deleted channel. Delete. Oh, you know what? I wonder. In deleted channel, yeah. So they got rid of. They've been getting rid of channels left, right, and center because their server's on fire. Right to remove any content. Yeah. Again, that doesn't need to be spelled out in advertising. Discord bot rules. Bot junk channel. That's also unnecessary. Abuse of bots forbidden. Don't spam. User bots are prohibited, which is against actually TOS. So again, unnecessary. And when I'm looking at this and I'm seeing someone who understands Discord to an extreme, but doesn't understand how to utilize it, right? So this means that someone knows how to make bots or how to generate embeds, but they don't understand what they're actually doing, right? Playing with Bullet Tide. I'm betting that Bullet Tide created this. I'm actually willing to bet, or this maybe rotates through the different admins or something. So this truly just shows that someone went on their way to either manually code this when they could have. First off, they could have just done this with a freaking webhook. It was probably unnecessary, everything they did to create a bot for that. I don't even know. I wonder what this bot actually does other than creating some form of like branding, which again, you could just do with a webhook. I hope that this bot does more. Maybe so shows like server information or whatever. Anywho, this is unnecessary. And it shows that someone went out of their way to make things complicated unnecessarily, right? And that sucks. They're handicapping their moderators in such a huge way. No one's ever going to read this. Just delete this channel. Throw it into Ahoy. Also, I get branding, but Ahoy isn't something that everyone knows even what it means, especially if you've got people from other languages. Also, like, telling someone to go read the rules in Ahoy is dumb, okay? You don't need to overbrand that, okay? That you have to say welcome or something like that, or welcome channel or information, something to that regard. You know, it doesn't need to say that. Let's go to social media. My God, they did it again. They absolutely did. This is so unnecessary. Like, I get that they wanted these nice colors that represent the brand. I'm betting they probably didn't even get the... Yeah, that's not Steam's official color. That's not Facebook blue. That's not Twitter blue, right? They just grabbed some random RGB color that was blue. Like, if you're going to do this, I would hope that you would at least go a little bit further to put the appropriate colors. Red, you can't really mess up red, but you could at least stay on brand for these social medias if you're going to go this extreme. But this channel is so unnecessary. All right. Website Play Atlas. Okay, we finally have, you know, their website. The Steam page should be the #1 thing that you see. Right? People don't care about your website. People want to find the freaking game. They want to see where they can buy your product. This being here below, especially Facebook, Twitter, come on. Honestly. Like that, you want people to, your call to action should be like super obvious. If I'm looking at this, right, I've got, you know, Foxhole is here, right? I've got, you know, website, but immediately Steam. But I have a call to action. Foxhole is available on Steam. Bam, right? Talks about it. Boom, boom. And I'm going to go a little bit further and say that if I open up the website, honestly, the buy button should be like over here. If I were to complain about this, Crazy Flying Chicken, please fix. But yeah, your call to action should be like super obvious, and this is not obvious. What this even is. All this information should be thrown into, again, Ahoy. It's so unnecessary to have this, and I see this a lot. I actually see dedicated social media pages a lot. People try to treat their Discord like it's a freaking website. It's not. It's not. One channel as much as possible. If you need to, fine. But this is so unnecessary. Okay. And get rid of the freaking embeds. Like they're not necessary. Get rid of them. Throw them in there. Do your emoji. Pro tip for those out there, and I'm gonna have to actually fix this because I believe I know what happened. But the emoji here, I think I deleted either the server it was on, or it got deleted from the server it was on, or I just misplaced it. But I have Discord Nitro, and it allows me to like post all these emojis on a different server and use them here, so I don't actually have to mess around with embeds and actually I don't have to upload them to this server, right? I don't have to make it so everyone else has to see them, or they're making sure you don't have them as much room for on-brand emojis or community emojis. So that's pretty important. Discord news? No, actually, let's go see what else is up here. Mod mail. So the mod mail, I actually know exactly what this is. Sorry, DM for help. Yeah. Okay. So this is where I get the proof that this was copied from the Foxhole server, right? ModMail is a bot that was an open source project, a bot that you could deploy for your own communities to better support your users in the form of a ticketing system, more or less. I mean, it's not really a ticketing system. It's just a means of having support for your users via DMs to the bot, which relays it to your users, or to your moderators. And it allows everything to be private, away from just out in the open, like a report channel. You remember, like the old forums that used to have, report a player channels or threads. So that was all fun and good. I put that up there, and it actually has saved us. We've done, I think we're well over 3,000 reports since I added that. So that's cool. But theirs is actually taken down, and I know why. It's because their Discord server's on fire, and they were probably getting spammed, which can kill their bot. But also, I guarantee you that this bot is not in a good way. The original project had so much wrong with it that it would often crash, and any number of interaction with players and everything, it was not stable. And the lovely lads at Dino actually did a lot of work to get that stable, and I figured out about it, and I started working on the project to make it work for Foxhole Games. So they don't actually have the same mod mail that we do, but they have probably, I'm betting, the basic of it. DM for help. I honestly, they probably got that from us because we were the only people who were using that terminology. So like here it says mod mail, DM for help, right? And so that's cool. Being copied by other people, but in such a bad way. Come on, guys, really. And this bot, when I first was looking at the server, was up here, and it made sense because all the servers should be up, or the bots for DM for help. It makes sense for it to be up there. Doesn't make sense anything else though, right? This really pissed me off. Everything about this, right? Now, I know why you would put that, the mod mail bot at the top. It makes it, very obvious who you should contact for support, right? And I honestly might do that in the Foxhole server. But server staff, they mixed in their server admins, and I get it. It's just all of their server staff, but you have to click on it, and just multiple colors. Come on, it just kind of looks weird. Also, why the coloring? Who knows? But your server staff are above your developers. I think. Who are the developers of this game? Who are they? Who is Grapeshot Games? Okay, they're the developers. Oh, Studio Wildcard. What is a Studio Wildcard, or what is Studio Wildcard? Reverb Games is. Who are they? All right. And then you start looking through here. Oh, everyone's doing the special characters to raise your to hoist your name in the list. Great. The very standard thing that Discord servers end up having happen is people start hoisting. I started recently knocking that down in Foxhole server, which I'm getting massively pinged in. But I get why having your server staff above your developers makes sense, but it also means that if you have this number of server staff on what I assume is a relatively young Discord server, honestly, it doesn't really effectively show who's the admin, and it doesn't effectively show who you should contact for anything other than like the mod mail, right? I guarantee you all these people are getting blasted with DMs right now because of the issues that the game is having. I guarantee you. And honestly, I would throw this down because I'm also willing to bet that these are not employees of their the developer's studio, right, or the publisher or anything like that. But who are they? Who are the developers? Who is Reverb Games? Again, this pissed me the fuck off. That I had to struggle to figure out who the developers were so I could actually figure this out. So let's go look at their Steam page. Developer Grapeshot Games, Instinct Games, they're not even in there. They're not even listed in this list that I know of. Unless they're all offline. Developer, publisher, Grapeshot Games. Reverb Games isn't even listed on here, right? So, who is Reverb Games? Okay, so let's go get their website here. This is it? This is it. Okay, I guess I'll go look at their social media, see if I can get a better idea. Okay. like there's obviously, come on. Branding is not hard. It's not a hard concept. But half-assing in this way is only going to hurt you. Okay, let's go look at, again, their Steam page. See if we can't figure this out. Let's visit the website. Cool. Nice. Okay, let's go look at their discussions. And actually, I'm gonna give you one quick tip. I couldn't find their Discord server. I actually could only find their Discord server after like doing a lot of searching, right? So where oh, nice. Where am I gonna find? Okay, pre-release Atlas screenshots. Okay. Trading announcements, no. Release info. Okay, official Discord. Honestly, you should have a call to action to your Discord. People don't realize that Discord is by far your biggest tool right now if you're a developer. When is launch? Yeah, this has been edited so many times. Last 35 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about that, right? I'm gonna go ahead and talk about that right now. Their launch of their game was botched so hard that they are now on their third delay. Their first delayed for I think 6 days. I heard about, and they actually, this is what really was stupid about it, and they really screwed the pooch. Their website had a little timer here, and is counting down. They didn't actually tell people that they were going to delay the game until after that timer had ran out. Right? Like, they didn't tell anyone that they were going to do another delay. I don't know what it is about their game that's so broken that they have to delay it multiple times, but communicate it. It's not hard. Like, do you not have a community manager? Do you not have someone who's dedicated to communicating with your players about these issues? Not even players, your potential players, your future players. It's not like you're disappointing people who are already playing the game, or they're, people are already enjoying it. You're making people actively refund or not buy your product at all. I will not buy this game, not for a long time, until I'm happy with how it's going. Like, I need to see some proof of the everything getting fixed. And honestly, this is so botched that I have no faith in that happening. Now I'm not going to blame the developers as a whole, right? Because issues do creep up, but it's also important to set reasonable expectations. And I imagine they had reasonable expectations for their launch, but something, horrible happened, and their launch got totally boned, right? So it's not unreasonable to delay. I would prefer games, get delayed in order to see things actually work. Or to the point where, like there's also the alternative, rolling out patches. But if you're having to roll out constant patches, and people are dealing with bugs or game breaking, or the system just doesn't work, then you're creating even worse issues. So just, go ahead and delay your game, but communicate it. Really, communication is 100% key. And I'm so frustrated with this that they didn't communicate that until after the fact, and everyone else was really pissed. And at that point, it was also the second delay, apparently, and I didn't know about the first delay because I only heard about the game after that. So who is responsible for communication? Well, looking into this whole thing, there's actually Atlas News talks about the game being delayed. Thank you for your patience and support. People are not being patient. People are talking about Reverb Games, right? So who are Reverb Games? Are they the community managers? Do they outsource community management? Oh yeah, that channel's back. So I went and looked, and it took me so long to figure out who the hell they were. This is Reverb Games. The only thing I could actually find out about them is that they're influencers, content influencers, or they handle influence interaction, maybe acting like a publisher or marketing group. And if that's the case, they really fucked it here. But I don't know what their contract is or what they're actually providing. They handled art, which, again, I could talk about that at length. These guys apparently are they're dudes. What are they? There's no about page. There's a subscribe button. What does that do? Okay, it just tells me to get a newsletter. Whatever. There's no about page. There's nothing that tells me what their company even is. It just shows a freaking game or games right there, and that's it. There's no about. Powered by Keymailer. Like, it took me, and a couple people, a good, 5-10 minutes to figure out who the hell Reverb Games were. And from my understanding is they handle the interaction between games and content producers, so YouTubers, Twitch streamers, and so on. And handle the facilitation of handing out keys and stuff, right? So that makes sense. But my God, did someone fuck up majorly. I don't know who Reverb Games are. I don't know why their website is just so bare bones. It doesn't have an about page. It doesn't have anything that says, here we are, Reverb Games. Also, their logo is straight up out of like 2010 or 2005 or whatever. Like, that starting to get modernized, but not quite wanting to leave the 1990s logo. But yes, that's great. Asurus New Dawn, they got some good games listed on here and some cool stuff, like Commodore 64 Mini. That looks cool. So I actually still don't really quite understand who they are. That frustrates the shit out of me. So follow us on Twitter. I went and looked, and bring great games to your fingertips. Contact them for inquiries? Okay. Like, again, it doesn't say who they are. They bring great games to our fingerprints. Are they Amazon delivery drivers? So that pissed me off on top of it, right? Again, there's no about information here on this website. So you go read about the game with all the typical copy. Holy crap, I haven't read this, but this is a lot of freaking copy. That is a lot of copy. Now, this makes sense if you're trying to make an SEO-friendly site, but for fuck's sake, there's no images, there's no content other than just freaking copy. If you can't explain your war, or your war, I don't know why I said war, your product or your game in a shorter manner than this, you've got bigger issues. You don't have a marketing team where you're relying on someone who just likes writing text. Like this wall of text honestly rivals mine. From the creators of Ark. So here's the thing: is they're using from the creators of Ark as the way of selling this game, and I don't like Ark, but that's a different story. And I've heard the Ark launch was also rocky as hell, and the Ark, everything all about Ark was rocky as hell. So when I heard about that they were the Ark developers, I was like, okay. But if this is your call to action to buy your game, your description, honestly, I'm disappointed already. You got cool, like this is cool. The trailers are awesome, right? And it looks really cool. Like, I'll be honest, I think this game would be really fun if it was, playable. First off, second off, stable, and third, their community wasn't horrible. And yeah, I don't know. That's kind of interesting. 40,000 simultaneous players. Here's the thing. When they say 40 plus simultaneous players, that is such a bullshit thing to put in your goddamn copy. You're not realistically setting expectation. You don't even have 40. You got like 43,000 people in your fucking Discord server, right? Like Foxhole has right now 1,500 people. I'd probably guess around there in the game right now. Compared to like the 200-something thousand people that they sold the game to. And on top of that, we've got 50-something thousand, 56,000 or so people in there. I can't remember, but you sure as shit don't have 40 fucking thousand people playing your shitty ass game. Like, I'm sorry, you do not put that in there. You could say that your servers can handle 40,000 people, but that's such a fucking bait. That's bait. And that pisses me right the fuck off. And I'm starting to get more and more aggravated. You should have heard me when I first looked at this community and this game and the community management, the marketing behind it, and I slowly got more and more pissed off. Right? This is another case right there. I didn't even read that. Release date December 21st. Haha, that just keeps on getting pushed back. December 21st is, well, that's today, but that wasn't supposed to be then. Well, who knows if that'll get pushed out tomorrow. And also, some people were saying that Steam doesn't do weekend releases, so we'll have to see how that works. There's no purchase button, so I don't know if people have actually bought this game or could buy this game at all, or have played this game. I don't know if there's like an alpha in the back ends or anything like that, so who knows. But yeah, I'm really disappointed in all that. Discord news, Atlas Channel is back. Sorry for the inconvenience. That's also cop out right there. Oh, nice. It's still on fire. Let's take a look at this. So this game was delayed a whole bunch of times, and Mention me if Alice is nice. So I was looking through this, and I'll probably throw the. I'm actually recording this relatively live. I'll throw what was going on in the server, how much on fire it was, and this isn't the first time I've seen this. The game World War III also suffered a really horrible launch, but not to this level. But their server was on fire, and there's honestly so much that you can do. There's only so much that you can do from a community standpoint when shit like that goes wrong. You just kind of have to, suck it up, honestly. But you just kind of have to let the world burn, honestly. When something like that happens, you let the world burn. But you also have to have moderators who can handle that type of an issue, right? You need to, activate slow mode, which was done here, to a 2-minute slow mode. This channel went away actually for a period of time, and I'm assuming that this channel went away so they could fix permissions or stop people from spamming it or something, because it's like their actual Atlas chat. But yeah, so you have to let the world burn, and the moderators, it sucks to be them right now. My heart goes out to them that they're honestly having to deal with the shittiest of situations right now. It's never fun, especially from a volunteer, standpoint. Again, I'm assuming that these people are all volunteers. Their company recruitment is so bad. What is that? Why? I kept on scrolling back, and at some point, Atlas players right now. Did someone get the swastika deleted? Did someone actually delete the swastika? I'll probably throw that one up in the recorded text. But someone legitimately had a ship that had a swastika on it on their recruitment post, and this is actually kind of this didn't even make. Yeah, like people are criticizing it, right? 24-hour cooldown per message. I'm assuming that's, you post this once. Oh, that's good. Yeah, there you go. No, I'm just going to leave that off. No Discord links. How are people supposed to get in contact with your people if you can't post a freaking Discord link? Like, I understand why they do that, but that's not realistic. Our recruitment post, of course, isn't it's not necessary to the same scale, but our recruitment posts are posted by our moderators, and we wipe once per month, right? That's how we handle it. But we also don't have the volume they do. Their system works better for them where everyone can post, but it's very obvious that no one is moderating that channel, right? And again, it's a newer community, I assume, but people are not moderating this. If this is how it looks, like, that's just bad. That's just bad. And you also shouldn't have reactions enabled in here. That's also just bad. They have TeamSpeak IP addresses. They have freaking people connecting to IP addresses for TeamSpeak. They have websites listed in here, but they can't post a freaking Discord link? Come on. That's just so unrealistic. And honestly, how do you expect people to get their clans or their crews, properly advertised? Like Reborn, we're in a unique position where we can just straight up post our website, but that's it. And honestly, I'd prefer to send people to a Discord server which doesn't have any risk of intrusion or anything like that than allowing people to post web links. Like, that's just a dumb idea from a security standpoint. I'm having to drink water because I've been talking for like 40 minutes straight, so that's good. But yeah, this is obviously on fire still, and they really need to be a lot more involved in moderating. There's also one major issue that I have with this, right? And that is that they use Meeseeks. They use freaking Meeseeks. And they also use is this Meeseeks or is that one Arc? I can't remember. They have Unbelievable, right? Which is it's not even a good bot to rely on. What I'm betting here is that whoever set this up only knew about Unbelievable or did like 10 minutes of like Discord, bot searching, and that's what they came up with. And then they donated for whatever extra capabilities I gave them. That is the most horrible mistake that you could make. Well, it's not. They've made a lot of mistakes worse than that. But this is honestly, like, you shouldn't even get a response. Like this bot is just bad. I looked into it and when I saw this, and it's bare bones as ever. And I was so disappointed about that. We use Dino, and I cannot say enough about Dino and the developers. It's actually such a good bot that it's industry standard. I'm calling it industry standard because honestly, Discord management is like an industry in its own. It's a skill. It's got like World of Drift of Sun. Yeah. I cannot tout Dino enough, and it does so many things better. And honestly, I think they should have gone with Dino. They should have gone with Dino. But I'm also biased in that regard because I love Dino. But good logging, and it would honestly, take care of the spam that they have. You get automatic muting from the bot and all that. You get so many different features that they honestly need right about now. So yeah, their FAQ, when is launch? Their FAQ is horrible, but at least it's written by players so they can actually edit it. So that's cool. Countdown timer can be found here. Okay. Yeah, it's not there actually. It's not even a countdown timer. 21st PST. Okay. That's today. Steam shows a different time. Yeah, okay. That's because you've been delaying it. This pissed me right the fuck off. $30 game that can't even launch properly, that's going to be $60 when it's freaking out? What? They're doing the whole early access thing where they think they can justify their product being $60 product when in no way is this a $60 brand. This is not a $60 game. This is not a $60 community. It's not a $30 community right now. It's a $0 community because they can't even get their shit online. And what more, they can't communicate it. This game I might buy if it's $5 or $10, right? I will never pay that price. I wouldn't pay that price. I'm sure as hell would not pay that price. There are some people in my community, in my clan, that would have honestly have bought this game at $30 or even $25 at launch. And they might even still do it because they think the game looks good, but it's hard for me to justify throwing money at such a shit issue, like a shit situation here. And honestly, I'm just so frustrated with that. How to use disable until further notice. That's because yesterday there were text channels in here for the voice channels here. Interesting way of handling it. They had voice channels, and legitimately the first thing I heard when I joined one of those channels of like 50 something people was someone going on about giving their balls a sponge bath. Okay, that's how on fire this place was. That people in voice chat were also going up in arms, which makes sense, honestly. But they've had to basically lock down half the server. They have all these information channels. I can't even understand the developers. I cannot grasp why this community is so bad. And I'm going to talk again. I'm 50 minutes into this, and I'm not even done complaining. But I'm going to get to like the root of the issue, and that's the fact that the indie developers and even AAA titles in general, they do not quite grasp the value of their communities and of Discord as a whole. Foxhole really got super lucky in that they were one of the earlier adopters of Discord into their community, and they got super lucky that they grew. They grew with Discord, honestly, and there's almost no excuse now for developers to not make as best use as possible of Discord, and this is not in any way this is not in any way a good example of a Discord community that is properly ran. And this is, again, indicative of their brand as a whole. And these people could have had so much better luck, if they properly, communicated with their customers, with the people who want to play their game. They could have had so much better luck if they utilize the tools that they are provided. They obviously have, right? They have YouTube. They have all these things. They could have communicated in so many ways. They have an extended gameplay trailer. This is what's funny. They gave us an extended length gameplay trailer on December 19th, which was like the second time it was delayed. They gave us this instead of actually releasing the game, so that was good. It's a huge issue right now, and I guarantee you, if I actually went and looked at this on Twitch, people are being up in arms with this. Let's actually go look at this. I really want to go look at what's going on here. Is Atlas still... Oops, what is that? I did not mean to click an ad. Shut up. Okay, so featured categories, top channels... Fortnite, StarCraft, Thief Simulator. Okay, so let's look at Atlas. There we go. Okay, so people are actually able to... people are actually here to complain about this, right? These people, they're not even able to play the game, and this guy has 286. Whatever's going on. Let's look at this. I wonder if they're actually playing the game. The ad supports Katie. Okay, Katie. So they're actually releasing to streamers, and they're still doing this. They're only releasing to streamers first. What the hell? Like, you have people who want to play your game, and you're only releasing to streamers first? Like, first off, you're giving streamers such a huge advantage. Like, I understand that's Reverb Games probably, making that happen, but don't do that. Those people are going to be the first to experience your game, and it's going to be bad, right? Unless those people are having such a good time, it's going to be bad. And the other issue is if those people are in that community, in that game, and there's no one else to play with other than other streamers, it's going to be frickin' empty world. They're not going to have 40,000 people in your game. Don't give streamers preferential treatment just for the sake of doing so. I understand it's a marketing decision, but at least act like you're fucking marketing, when you do this shit, right? Giving streamers access to something that's been delayed 3 times is only going to cause the streamers to be really salty. I really cannot wait to see actual content on this. Intermission. Scroll. Is this person... Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Okay. This pisses me right off, okay? This person is streaming only a slow-mo version of... This is a joke. This is a freaking joke. They're streaming 2,000 people. This person... Is she even talking? Working. Oh, they're talking. Miss Flynn, no! Miss Flynn, fire, no! Okay, so they're just talking, and it's just... They're memeing over on top of the trailer. What's up with that? What is up with that? This is pissing me right off. And they got 2,000 people over here. I'm so angry about that. That content creator is a joke, honestly. I don't know. This is such a poor handling, and I'm actually gonna have to not do everything I was going to talk about in this video because I honestly, I've been talking about this game for 55 minutes, and I haven't even really looked into the game like on a full scale. I'm looking at their community. Like, I haven't had any incentive to investigate the game fully other than watching their trailer and looking at their screenshots. Like, I'm so fucking frustrated at all of this. I'm frustrated to all ever. Like, and to look at their other Discord server, right? Arc. Well, they did it right here. Of course, they did it with the bot. But again, rules and info. Rules and roles. And they did the emoji reactions, which is cool. It's something that people are doing a lot more. Makes sense. Their server also pissed me right the fuck off. Like, I honestly got so aggravated at the Arc server, and it's not even a good-looking server. I understand that it's not necessary or as necessary. Studio wildcard, again, what does that even mean? Admin, moderator, like they have two different ways of doing their servers right now. I understand that this isn't as necessary of a system because this isn't like an MMO. This is like server based, like everyone deploys their own servers. But oh, we are not wildcard, nor any staff employed by Wildcard. So Wildcard Studios are apparently a developer? I don't know. Oh, this is unofficial. Well, fuck that. This is unofficial Arc server? You gotta be kidding me. They have the vanity URL for Arc. Let's just... Really? Okay. Let's go find that hotkey for how do you do the hotkey to join a server? Control Shift N. There you go. Let's go this discord.gg/arc. Really? This is the vanity URL for Arc, and they don't even have it as an official server? So this server in order to get that URL, you have to be either partnered or verified as being developers, right? So this has to be an official server because even though it's unofficial, it has to be official. Overseer, I guess that's DM me for help. Again, it's mod mail. And that's too good. That's honestly too good. I guess I could just go ahead and leave that server now. I'm never going to use it. Yeah, I'm just so disappointed at Atlas for all of that. Honestly. So what this breaks down to is developers, please take the time and effort into making a proper Discord community, right? Please do. Please put the actual effort into doing community management and actually being communicative about issues and about your product. It will go so far. Clapfoot here is, again, one of the reasons why I'm such a huge proponent of Foxhole and their community and willing to go, through so many leaps and bounds with them is because their developers are some of the most communicative developers I've ever seen of a game. From a really well-oiled studio that has a lot of good potential, even for the future, but it goes so far, and people are much more willing to buy your product, stay with the community, and play it long-term if your communities are well managed. When I look at Atlas, I see mismanaged communities, poor communication, poor developer decision making. I see people going overboard, with everything that they're doing, in an improper way because they think they know better. And I see a lot of a lack of using best practices. And I'm going to say this, like, there are best practices for Discord related things. Like, there are a lot of best practices. And they have no excuse to have this type of a server in this manner. Or this type of communication issues. They're an established freaking company. This isn't their first rodeo. I honestly, it's just so disappointing. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, and this is something that's been I've been talking to some people about. I'm going to give some tips in another video, because originally this video was not supposed to be an hour long, but I'm going to give some tips in another video about Discord community management and community management in general. Again, I'm not an expert, I'm not paid to do it, but there's common sense and just people learning over the years, marketing, social media management, sales, being involved in communities for so long. You can pick it up. And Crazy Flying Chicken didn't go to school for that, I don't think. He was a player before he even joined the developers as a community manager and assisting with the level design and development of the game. So, like, it's not like this is something that you can't just learn, but again, this company, these developers are not new at this. And it pains me so much to see a game that originally had so much potential to go down the drain so fast because poor community management and lack of communication. So I'm going to do a shorter videos on this topic because I think it's something that I'm passionate about. So I'm going to have fun with it. I don't care if people watch it. I'm passionate about it, and I'm going to enjoy making those videos. And I hope that people can honestly pick up on the tips that I put out there and take to heart the things that I have said when they're talking about their communities or looking at how they manage their communities. And I would love to go through and do like a explanation of the Foxhole server. Honestly, I think that'd be fun to talk about the why things are the way we are. And of course, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't, it might not make sense for every server. Not every community is going to be the same. Or does something work for one community, it's not going to work for the other, right? So, yeah, I'm going to go through some games. Hunt Showdown. I've actually been talking to their community manager with Crytek, right? I've been talking to their community manager who's been asking me tips about the way we handle things in the Foxhole Games server. And I think that's funny because the developers of freaking CryEngine, they have a community manager who is asking about a Canadian indie developer's Foxhole server from some guy who's just, not even paid by them. Like I think that's hilarious. I think that's absolutely hilarious. It really goes to show that there's a lot of titles, a lot of dev teams, a lot of publishers out there that don't quite grasp the beauty of Discord, and the potential that it has to make or break your game, and communication in general, community management as a whole. It's not rocket surgery, right? Honestly, I if I could get paid for this stuff, like if I knew I could end up getting paid and make a living out of this stuff, I probably would. I would love doing that. I love people. I love community stuff, and I think, all this criticism, I hope people take to heart. Even if the Atlas people never see my video, I do hope that someone, learns something. Even if I help one person, I've done my job. Honestly. So, but yeah, if I could get paid for this stuff, I totally would. I would love doing that. If I could sit there and make Discord servers and talk to people and help people and fun stuff, I totally would. But whatever. I guess this is what it is. Again, thank you for sticking through my over an hour long ramble session about Atlas. Again, this was supposed to be a complaint about communities as a whole, but this is a very good indicator of a lot of the issues of community management and issues of communications and Discord best practices that I've seen. It's like a poster child for bad, right? And that sucks. That honestly sucks. I'd rather not have that. So, but there we go. I've got some pings to answer. I've got some stuff to do in Reborn, so I'm gonna go ahead and go there. I'm gonna go ahead. Peace. Live long and prosper, right? And I will see you guys next time. Hey guys. So you thought that was it, but it actually gets a little bit better. Ever so slightly bit better. So I'm actually I'm in the process of actually editing this video right now. As I'm recording this, and it actually turns out that I was actually wrong about some things about this game. It's still gonna have player-hosted servers, like community servers and unofficial servers. So it's not even going to be like the grand, amazing game that people thought it was going to be, right? It's not going to be 40,000 people in like one world, or at least so I think. I could be wrong, but there's going to be official servers and unofficial servers. So I don't understand it. I don't understand how shit could be so bad with their how they're doing the game. It's not like it's, you know, some technical miracle, whatever they're trying to pull off or something. I honestly don't know. I'm just so aggravated about it. I took a screenshot. This is from Lyric, whatever his name is. This is their server browser. I literally just snipped it. Yeah, there's unofficial and official, and that's hilarious. That's honestly just freaking hilarious. Yeah, I just thought I'd share that. The game is available to streamers, but there's no servers up yet. Oh, it's great. I gotta say the main menu looked kind of nice, but whatever. I thought it was good. Okay, I'm gonna go have a burrito. I'm done. I'm done with this freaking game already. I hadn't even bought or installed the game, but I just had to share how that was funny. So there you go. Yeah. Happy holidays. I hope you enjoyed the jazz. I'll see you guys next time.